all he needed. There was not enough Zergling support, no roaches on the field, and that was GG.
Indeed it was. So, we are in the lobby. It looks like the players are ready to go. I'm just waiting for a confirmation from Zikto. So once he has said that he is ready, we will begin this game. And of course, map 2 is going to be in Tomb Valley. So currently copying what we saw in the first show match. And both the players are now ready, Lillian. So we are going to get into this. And well, obviously Ziktomini is probably not going to be too happy with that.
No, that was definitely surprising there. I thought Ziktomini might be able to hold, but there were too many Stalkers. The Fnatic Harstem scouting with that one Zealot, being able to see the amount of mutas there and immediately warping in nothing but Stalkers, and that was definitely what turned things around. He just barely had enough anti-air, and look at that split from Harstem. I'm not sure if our observer was on top of that, but he selects each individual worker and sends it to an individual patch. That was a 6-split.
That is pretty hardcore. So, let's introduce these two players. In the lower right position, we do, of course, have the red Protoss player. The player who apparently can split probes better than anyone in the game at the moment. It is, of course, Fnatic's Harstem. And in the top left position, as the blue Zerg, his opponent, currently 1 game down, it is, of course, Western Wolves Ziktomini. I am Maddles. I'm here with Lurlian. And the map in Tomb Valley cross spawns.
Cross spawns once more. In the last PvZ series we cast, a best of 5, we saw cross spawns happening too. And it looks like both players are not really aware. Looks like Baker is not an admin, so he actually cannot see that. Oh well.
Yes, we forgot to make him a referee, which is fine. That doesn't matter. At least neither player knows, and not one of them knows. I suppose that balances out in the long term, doesn't
it? Neither player knowing is as good as both players knowing.
They have now been told, so that's fine. But it's too late. It's when we see, of course, Harstem already scouting in all of the positions, then it's a bit like, oh, now you tell me it's cross spawn. That Overlord with the misdirection is now being like, oh, look how far I've got to go over there. Anyone who is familiar with Pythagoras' theorem could probably calculate how much longer it's going to take that Overlord to get that, as opposed to just going in a straight line. I'm sure, of course, Proxy Wolf could if we tweeted him. But look at this. Pylons coming down. The Forge is on its way. Ziktomini pulling those drones ASAP. Ooh. Lurlian, this isn't fun.
This isn't standard play coming out of Harstem. Looks like he's going to be cannon rushing it up a little bit. I read a post on Reddit today. A famous cannon rusher got into Grandmaster League just by cannon rushing every single game. And looks like Harstem wants to experience that fact as well. The cannon is going to go up. How many drones are going to be able to attack it? 3 drones are going to be able to attack that. That is a lot. And he might be able to focus that cannon down before it finishes. I think the cannon will never see the light of day. And if it does, it will get to shoot like 1 drone once and then die off. So it's looking really good for Ziktomini right now. He's holding this off perfectly. Those 3 drones, though, I believe they're trapped.
They will be. All 4 of those drones will be trapped. But of course, now the pylon has been taken down. And unfortunately for Harstem, he didn't get the cancel down on either of the cannons, which means he has invested an awful lot and not going to achieve that much. Going for the gateway block now at the natural. But as we can see already, Harstem having lost 537 resources. That's going to go up to 730 after these 2 pylons are gone. I would definitely say Ziktomini is in a strong position here.
Definitely a good position for Ziktomini here, holding that perfectly, pulling the drones at the right time. I think Harstem was kind of hoping his opponent would make a really big mistake, but that didn't happen. The Overlord of Ziktomini is now in position and sees, doesn't actually see the cannon yet, but he will see it in a second. The cannon is finished up, so it's going to be a lot harder for Ziktomini to do any amount of counter damage here, but he does have a lot of links. 6 links are marching towards the base of Harstem right now.
As they are, and of course with the cannon up, they're not going to be able to get into the main, but it's still pressure there for Harstem, worrying about it slightly. We do have the single probe there sitting there, ready to take down the Nexus. Harstem now not supply blocked anymore after losing all those pylons, acting Ziktomini's natural. The one thing we can say is all the timings have been thrown off for this matchup for the moment, because with that aggression, obviously Ziktomini's natural was much, much later than it should be. Harstem's own natural, hugely later than it should have been. So, as we've got these Zerglings running in, they're going to go straight for the main base, Lurlian, and we do see that a good number managed to make it through. 5 up in here. That's going to be irritating for Harstem.
Yeah, 6 links went at it, and 5 got into the main base, and this is sick. 5 links is a catastrophical amount. 2 links is annoying. 3 lings is dangerous. 4 lings is super dangerous, but 5, that's gonna be probe lost for sure. Already 1 probe down. The Zealot is now out though and might be able to prevent any further probe losses. Harstem has to micro his heart out. He cannot lose any more probes to this harassment.
And indeed, we are getting some good micro. 2 more do go down, though, before it's gone, which means a total of 3 have been taken out by Ziktomini so far this game. That's going to be frustrating for Harstem, having already a lower probe count than drones. Ziktomini taking his 3rd base very comfortably. It's already half finished, and he's got his first 2 gas up as well now. So I would say Ziktomini, he should be very comfortable. He's seen all the scouting. He's seen there's only 1 gas down at the moment for Harstem, which really gives an indicator of what kind of tech's going to be able to come out at what sort of times. So all in all, I'd say Ziktomini is definitely ahead in this game so far.
I agree with you, Maddles. The British player Ziktomini looking so good so far in this game, holding off that cannon rush perfectly, doing some really good counter damage, killing a few workers, preventing a lot of mining time, getting a lot of scouting information, and now Harstem has 2 options. He's got 1 option to do a really sick all-in off of 2 bases, off of a really low probe count, or he's going to have to take a really early 3rd base. He's too far behind to play this out normally, I'd feel. If I would be in this position being Harstem, I'd be thinking one of those 2 things, either early nexus or an all-in off of 2 bases, like an early 4 or 5 gate.
Indeed, those are your options available to you. Ziktomini, though, we see getting down the Rotron and his lair nearly finished as well, so he's in a solid spot. What I also like is the fact he's got a handful of Zerglings out on the field to maintain the map control and the map vision, prevent proxy pylons from coming down. He's expecting Harstem to go for some kind of all-in now, knowing that he'll be behind. So just playing it safe and getting those additional Zerglings out, which do take down that Zealot while taking no damage themselves. All of these little wins for Ziktomini are going to result in him winning the game unless something very, very surprising happens.
Oh, Ziktomini is going for a Spire. That's the one risky thing that could lose him this game. We got a 7 gate coming out of Fnatic Harstem. Like I said, some kind of a super aggressive build off of 2 bases with a low probe count, no 2 gases, is what could win him this game. It's going to be a 7 gate plus 1 timing out of the Dutch Protoss Harstem. And, oh man, Ziktomini being so greedy, skipping the Roach Warren, not getting...
He does have the Roach Warren down.
Oh,
that is down. It is down. Oh. And this Overlord coming in from the 3rd base, that is going to be incredibly important. But unfortunately, it stops at the 3rd to get the timing. He gets the generate creep, so he is not going to be able to see those gateways coming down. Sees the pylon, so may take it down. Sees a lot of units there. Hopefully that'll be an indicator. More Zerglings are in production, but Ziktomini needs to make some roaches if he's going to hold this off. And as we can see, no clue as far as Ziktomini is concerned with the gateway count, but now sees a lot of units. He should start panicking. The Spire nearly finished, but with the Stalker count and the gateways, this is going to be painful.
Ziktomini so greedy. Looks like he really wants to show his Spire play to us, but it's just not working out for him right now. He's losing so many Zerglings. Does force the pylon to cancel, but he will not be able to get the 2nd pylon. A lot of Zealots and Stalkers warping in right now. 10 mutas are on the way, but I think they're going to be too late for this party. Fnatic Harstem's party. He's throwing in the 3rd base of Ziktomini right now.
Indeed, there may be 12 mutas on the way and only 6 Stalkers down, but how much damage can Harstem do before that? The next wave of warpins are going to be critical, but of course, Harstem is incredibly low on gas. That is the problem. He's not going to be able to get that many Stalkers, and now Ziktomini's mutas come out, instantly picking off one of the Stalkers. 2 goes down, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th are going to fall very quickly, and with that, Ziktomini should be able to comfortably hold. He's pulling all of the drones to his 3rd base, which hasn't yet been taken down. The Zealots at the natural are getting cleaned up very effectively. May be able to get this natural hatchery, though.
Oh, if he gets that natural hatchery, that's going to be amazing. 57 HP, 49, 26, and it does stay alive. Harstem pulled 2 of the Zealots into the main base, and they're going to end up doing 0 damage. If those 2 Zealots would have been at the natural, that base would have been dead, but the 3rd base has been taken out by even more Zealots, but Ziktomini is ahead by about 40 supply right now. How is Harstem ever going to be able to hold against the Muta counterattack?
He is going to have massive problems. He does only have the 1 cannon at the moment. No more cannons coming down in the middle line. The Stalker count is extraordinarily low at 3. The mutas are going to be able to do so much damage. if Harstem had managed to take out this natural, which survived by the skin on Ziktomini's teeth, then perhaps Harstem would have been in a better position. But as we're seeing now, these Mutas doing just oh so much damage to the probe line. The Stalkers are still there, but there's not enough Stalkers to deal with this many Mutas who are just engaging head on and are winning that fight, Lurlian. And GG, well